All right, man, it's T, and I'm back with a video. It's, I guess you could call this Q&A time. So, I gotta answer you in a video, Mr. Giannis1335. Don't you injure the muscles when you train to failure and do slow eccentrics? Well, if it's something that you've never done before and it was unfamiliar, even if you are adapted in your workouts, if you've never done that before and you did a lot of it in that session, then yeah, you may get some muscle injuries. Yeah, you may get these micro muscle injuries. It's a possibility, yeah. But if you come back the second time and you do it, it won't happen. That's all. It's really simple. Now somebody here is answering your question. I don't know what his experience level is. He'll just say, if you're unaccustomed. Just because I said unaccustomed, somebody's going to regurgitate what I said. That's not necessarily true. It's a lot more complicated than that. So I told you, I said, if your muscle never did it, it's unfamiliar, it could get micro-injured, yes. But now protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. You understand me? And the DOM sets in, it'll last about 4 days. So the clinical signs would include reduced force capacities, increased painful restriction of movement, stiffness, swelling, and dysfunction of adjacent joints. You getting any of that, bro? When you did that, did you get any of that if you did that? Because you didn't do any of that. You're just asking a question. You didn't want to find out. So this guy's answering, you're now answering his question. Then what after you get unaccustomed? What after when you get unaccustomed? You have beat your muscles with a hammer or something to injure them again? Nobody says you have to beat them with a hammer. You can listen, there's all kinds of ways to get injured in a gym. That doesn't mean you got a micro injury. You could get oxidative stress, hypoxia. That's injurious to muscles. Does that grow muscle, hypoxia? So he writes you back, he says, no, you simply rest and grow until you become unaccustomed to it again. Takes you about a week. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. It's an adaptation process. I'll get more into depth into this, okay? I'll explain this after I'm finished answering these things. Yeah, I get that part. The part I don't get is how you keep injuring the muscles after they get unaccustomed. It's easy. You need to get you need to do something you're unfamiliar with to get more of these adaptations. That's all, to injure muscle fibers. So that must mean you must lift heavier. You must lift heavier because your muscles are unaccustomed to it. How do you lift heavier? With your natural strength, not your chemical strength. But you're too busy building chemical strength. You forgot to build your natural strength. You understand what I'm trying to explain to you? It won't work for you. That's all. You're chasing the wrong thing. Time you take a week off. No. You don't just take a week off and you're unaccustomed and then you come back. What if you lift the same thing again? You're unaccustomed, you come back. You come back the following week and you lift the exact same weight. You haven't really changed. Your modality hasn't changed. It's adapted at this point. You may be just damaging the same muscle fibers over and over again. At that point, there's just a repair and no more donation. So you need to be careful with that as well. Okay, anytime you do something your body this is what I explained to you, because I wrote you. Anytime you do something, your body rapidly adapts to that. See, anytime you do something, your body rapidly adapts to that. How does it do that? By giving you muscle. That's how it adapts. It adapts by giving you muscle or receptors, or it moves into type 1. Why is that? Because it's a protection from not building any more muscle. You got to do something you're unaccustomed, unfamiliar, or untrained doing to get new adaptations, like it says there. To getting new adaptations. And then I wrote it's complicated. So you need to do these things because it's complicated. That's why. Because here's the problem. There's a lot of problems. This myocytic androgen receptor controls the strength. That adaptation where people are adapted now. Your muscles are adapted to not building muscles. So you keep lifting a heavier weight, calling it progressive overload. So your body compensates by giving you these androgen receptors. They widen, they give you more of them. So it's a chemical strength, okay? You are not building your physical, natural strength anymore. What you're building is a chemical strength. You understand me? Yeah. So your muscles, they're not growing. You're getting chemical strength. That's why you're a little guy lifting a heavy weight in the gym and running around and trying to show off to big guys and go, look, I'm a little guy, I can lift a heavy weight. You're a big guy and you can't lift a heavy weight. Get it? Yeah, man. So there you go. So the problem with a lot of you people, you don't understand that muscles are extremely hard to put on. So you need to focus on your natural strength by growing myofibrillars. If you grow myofibrillars, then that strength and your natural strength will grow together. But if one grows faster than the other, like your androgen receptor strength, and you lifting a heavier weight, but you didn't grow any myofibrillars, then when you leave the gym, that strength is chemical, it'll go away. Get it, man? Because it's an adaptation process. It's giving you that, compensating you with that, so you don't build any more muscle. Do you understand me? Yes. So you've never increased your natural strength. You got chemical strength. Then you're going to say, well, I got some bigger. I got some bigger eating carbohydrates. Yeah. That's glycogen. That hypertrophy is based on glycogen loading. It's based on sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. So that too is fake as well. But if you truly want to build real strength and real muscle, then you're going to have to injure it. And it doesn't happen so easily. Even if you are unaccustomed and you come back to the gym, if you lift the same weights, it won't work. And protein synthesis needs to exceed this breakdown. You need to be in an anabolic growth state or it won't work. It won't work. And so that will make you stronger, and then you come back in and you and then you start lifting heavier. You start pushing that domain. You keep lifting heavier and heavier to get the weaker, deeper muscle fibers and break them down so that they can grow bigger, better, stronger, and faster and get a donation of nuclei, okay? That's how it works. If you don't challenge your muscles, regardless whether you were unaccustomed or not, coming back to the gym, which you should be stronger naturally now to lift heavier, and those weights should feel really light. And as far as your weight going up as well, you should be bringing down the whole stack. As you get heavier, you being 250, then being 260, 270, whatever you're being, your weight going up, you should be bringing down the whole stack now. Your weight should be even pulling it down with you. That's how strong you should be getting. Your physical natural strength should be getting stronger. If it's not, then you're not doing something right. You're not getting those clinical signs like I showed you there. In these clinical signs that you're supposed to look for. These were the clinical signs. Reduced force capacities. Do you get stronger in a gym when you injure muscle fibers, when you do muscle damage? No. What do you get? Reduced force capacities. Even when you're going through the exercise. Even when you're going through the movement, you can feel the tearing in the muscles. You can literally feel it, trust me. There's a blunting effect. There's a very blunting effect there. You can feel it. Literally, you'll feel your force capacities going down. You'll start to feel increased painful restriction too, somewhat. The movement kind of gets stiff as well. Is there swelling there? It's already coming on, the swelling. There's a dysfunction in the adjacent joints, yes. So not only does it happen after, but it happens during the movements in the gym. That's how you know you've accomplished this muscle damage. Now, like I said, to get more adaptations, you have to do something you aren't familiar with you're doing. But if you keep doing the same familiar lifts and the same familiar sets in the gym, then you're adapted and it won't do anything. It'll be a repair, but there won't be a donation of nuclei because it doesn't warrant that. It will warrant to give you a donation of these nuclei if it's warranted that you're doing something extremely, how should I put it, unfamiliar, that the body needs to give you that adaptation. So yeah, I don't know what else to say there, friend. I gotta go. I got things to do. So it's not just, it's unaccustomed. They tell you unaccustomed, unfamiliar, untrained. They tell you periodic lifting. Yes, these things all work to get you this damage. But if you want a new adaptation, then you're going to have to move up higher and higher and higher and stop sitting there. Stop sitting there being comfortable. You need to get comfortable by being uncomfortable. You need to get uncomfortable, be comfortable with getting uncomfortable. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, friend.